Hello and a warm welcome to this special edition of Big Picture coming to you from Kerala's capital city, Thiruvananthapuram. It's a state which has followed the conventional political pattern of throwing its incumbent government every 5 years since almost 5 decades. But analysts and observers feel that this year is going to be a year of difference. It could be a year of dichotomies. There are many factors driving this election, be it the form of Marxism, entry of BJP. Many social trends also are getting exposed in this election. Joining me now is an esteemed panel of guests which are going to dissect all these factors driving this election. Next to me is VB Ajay Kumar. He's a prominent Dalit rights activist in Kerala. Next to him is John Samuel. He's a political analyst and president of the Institute of Sustainable Development and Governance. Welcome both of you. Next to John is Beena Paul, who's an award-winning film critic, and she's also been the artistic director of Kerala International Film Festival, and now currently she is the director of LV Prasad Film Institute. Welcome to you, ma'am, as well. And next to her is Dr. K. N. Madhusudan Pillai. He's the academic dean, Bharati Vichar Kendra. He's an RSS sympathizer. And next to him is Dr. J. Prabhash, professor and head political science, Kerala University. Welcome all of you on this special edition of Big Picture. Let me begin by asking you, John, do you really feel that something is really amiss or something is really different about this election in Kerala?
This election is very different in terms of 2 or 3 things. For the first time in the history of Kerala, the election campaign, the major campaign is outsourced.
Okay.
By the UDF, LDF, as well as the taglines were actually for the first time, cooked up in the advertising studio by copywriters somewhere.
Okay.
That's a sign of it. The second thing is, almost everyone is talking about quote unquote about development. That's the whole thing. What does development mean? UDF says that economic growth plus development is their stuff. LDF says that we will come and everything will be fine. BJP feels that Kerala has missed the road, so they would make it right. Now the funny thing is, most of these things are not organically connected with the political process of Kerala. Okay. This has never happened. Okay. The second thing is, for the first time, BJP is not standing election alone. They have actually, whether it's a successful thing or not, the election results will say, but they have come out with an alliance. Let me bring in
Dr. Madhusudan here. The entire point of difference which is being talked about in Kerala at the moment is because of the presence of BJP. The bipolarity has been breached for the first time, and BJP is trying to make inroads into the state. Are you really hopeful of making this experiment of yours successful? As John says, that the political process of Kerala has been very different. Are you really hopeful about it?
Yes.
And what makes you so hopeful?
Yes, for the last 60 years, Kerala was witnessing governments, alternate governments, either UDF or LDF. This is the first time the people think that we have to have another alternative, okay, a third alternative. And that is very evident when you go to the ground level and speak the people and ask them. They feel that 60 years of the rules of UDF and LDF has disillusioned them. And those UDF and LDF are also feeling an identity crisis. We cannot identify which
but
are...
Dr. Madhusudan, it has been seen by and large that the castes never vote en masse. And the caste affiliations which BJP has tried to calculate with SNDP and other caste affiliations and the caste groups with which BJP is working, do you really feel that the people are going to follow that political pattern? Of course, it is easy on paper to say that people are looking for a difference, but as the history shows, honestly, tell us, what makes you so hopeful?
No, but your assumption is not correct. It is not on caste basis. See, it is, I should say, some negative way. Because so far...
What's a negative way you're
Negative way that so far the people are coming to power by exploiting the sentiments of the minorities.
Okay, Dr. J. Prabhash, do you agree with what Mr. Madhusudan is saying, that there is a negative wave against these two blocks, UDF and LDF, and that is where BJP is trying to find some space?
I don't think that there is a negative wave against against UDF and LDF kind of a thing. If there is negative wave, there is negative wave against. It can be against every political party, because every political party has their own shortcomings, and people are very much concerned about those kinds of things. So you ask anybody in the street, they will say that, I mean, the politicians have done this thing, that thing. They have not. They are not speaking about. I mean, John spoke about the kind of campaign you have today. I mean, they are not speaking about the quotidian concerns of the people, and even when they are standing, they are speaking about. I mean, standing on the rooftop, they are talking about development, etc., etc. Whose development you are speaking about? I mean, the people are concerned with their.
You made an important point, but Beena, every political party is promising development. It's promising economic development, all kinds of development. Now, whose shop is really going to win? Because every political party is looking like a shop where you have consumer goods.
Exactly. I would like to state that I think, as everybody is saying this year, I mean, people are really concerned about what is happening, and I think what is happening is basically there's a whole amount of corruption. I think women are particularly facing, there are issues of caste, etc. My feeling this year is very much that people are looking at candidates.
Okay.
That more than saying because you're really confused now between all these tall claims and so on. My sense is that people are looking in your own constituency, who is the candidate who's there, is that person. I think the common man is really, I mean, I would say for myself, I'm really concerned about a lot of things, and I'm not looking now anymore to say, because I really think there's a lot of hot air, and I think the credibility of the candidate is what people are looking at.
But when you talk about candidates, Ajay Kumar, there are many candidates who are first-timers, and Kerala conventionally has not voted for the first-timers. They go in for seasoned, scrutinized people in politics. People like Sri Sant, then there are journalists like Veena George, a lot of film stars are in the fray. Is the Keralite voter really going to be driven by the new faces? No matter what the parties are promising.
Yeah, I think that's a new trend. I mean, these elections prove that, you know, political parties compared to the other elections, this time they are trying to introduce new faces other than party card holders, I mean, full-time party workers. It's also evident that, you know, they are not able to win people's mind with their own. That's why they are actually looking for people elsewhere. So, how people going to react to that process, you know, we have to wait and see. But I think it's important that, you know, politics, it's also not only about the politicians. Other players also have a role in it. So in that way, it's a good sign. People, I mean, political parties introducing new faces.
Right. But John, this year when a Keralite voter walks up to the polling booth, what is he really going to have in mind? Is it going to be the party? Is it going to be the front? Is it going to be the chief ministerial candidate? What is the overriding factor on everybody's mind?
You know, number of things. My sense is, despite all these things, an average voter in Kerala is very intelligent. You know, they make choices. When you said that, you know, they have alternated between two, because they have all these considerations are there. But, you know, earlier 80% of the people had party affiliations or party's inclinations. Now it has reduced to around 20 to 30%, right? Around 40% would
You're
consider
talking about the committed vote bank.
Committed vote bank, and 40% will look at the trend as well as the candidate. And the X factor is, we really do not know the people who are less than 30. So between 2011 and now, a significant, Dr. Prabhash will be able to say what has been added to. That's an X factor.
Right.
We really do not know. And there is a cynicism. I talk to a lot of people. There is a cynicism about the whole party process, where candidates are being outsourced, the election slogans are being outsourced, the campaign managers are invisible, their backroom boys manage it. So there is a deep concern at the grassroots level.
So is it Beena, it's a certain trend which he's talking about, John. basically, do you see this entire process of outsiders coming and clutching at the political process of Kerala? Do you really see this as a dangerous trend in Kerala politics?
It's quite interesting because I think the Malayali has always embraced the outsider actually. But this time I'm seeing that there's a lot of changes. In fact, I'd like to just quote a little WhatsApp message that I got, which says, talks about migrant labor. And
Which is like some 32 lakh population.
and actually, no, not the Malayalis going out, but the people coming into
the other states. Yeah.
And the WhatsApp message warns you that these are all criminals. 80% of these people coming here are criminals. So there is a kind of phobia now. There is a fear of the outsider. There's a fear that, I think even in politics, there is this sense, as he says, that everything's being controlled from outside. Where is our, you know,
Outside
because we were so,
Right,
That's
right.
yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah, exactly,
Dr.
outside politics.
Dr.
that's right.
Jayaprakash, do you really see the Malayali identity in a crisis? Is there a reason for a Malayali to feel threatened at the moment in Kerala?
I don't think that there is any point for the Malayali to feel threatened,
Absolutely
because
not.
I mean, right from the very beginning, Malayalis were the people who used to go
Embrace.
outside, and so they have that cosmopolitan kind of a culture, and so the Malayali as an voter or Malayali as the native of Kerala, I mean, they don't feel that they are threatened. But there is a point in what John was telling, and what he was telling was that the politicians have, by and large, I say by and large, exceptions apart, have lost their connection with the people. I mean, they are not they are organic link with the people. I mean, gone are the days when people know and this candidate even by the name. You tell the name, they know that this man is this man's. Now what happened is that
at the missing link between the leader and the grassroots connection.
not only the leader but even the political workers.
Okay.
I mean, they have lost that connect, and that is why you are going for advertisement kind of a thing. You are going for advertisement companies to write slogans for you and things like that. I remember a famous statement made by Mao. Mao said that, I mean, if politics is creative, then your slogans becomes poetic. And so here what happens is that neither is there poetry in the slogan, nor is there creativity, because you have lost the creativity, and therefore you have lost that musical that poetic tone to your. Now you have to invent slogans, and you are outsourcing, I mean, that task to somebody else, and you create a slogan.
Dr. Madhusudan, by and large, whomever you talk to in Kerala about elections, they say the real problem is the BJP, the entry of BJP in Kerala. Would you really agree to that?
It is the problem for UDF and LDF. Otherwise, there is no problem. For the people, they are accepting it. You see the history of the polling changes from 2006 to 2015. The growth of BJP is tremendous. No other parties, I say no other coalition, has shown such a tremendous growth from 4.6%. Now it has reached 14% growth. Now it is going to have about 20%. Definitely it is not a problem, it is a positive effect of the people's acceptance of BJP.
But what is BJP's new strategy to lure the Kerala voter? Earlier it was the caste calculations which probably didn't work, then you had to redraw your strategy in terms of development. What is the real strategy of BJP at the moment? How are you really telling the people, or are you still banking on Prime Minister Narendra Modi?
No, not only that, because you know Kerala, the strongest base of BJP is the RSS cadre, I should say. RSS is stronger than any other states in Kerala.
Absolutely.
Kerala has the largest, because 5,000 shakhas.
I'll come to you, Dr.
5,000 shakhas are working here, and their connectivity with the people is very high. And the only lacuna here is, unfortunately, people are the mass propaganda against them. They are secluded them from
But the
other.
biggest allegation against BJP is that they are trying to communalize the whole election. John, I would like to bring you in on this point. Do you really admit to the fact that BJP has communalized this whole election?
BJP is trying to communalize. Look,
But it's not successful
in
so
Kerala, whatever BJP says, Kerala has a cosmopolitan core. Because the habitat of Kerala is, you know, people of all religions, castes stay in the neighborhood. So it's not like UP, you go and talk about it, right? Here there are Muslims, Christians, Dalits, everybody. Adivasis are only in two pockets.
Right.
So the communal agenda is not going to cut too much ice here.
Okay.
So BJP never had the guts to say about
Yeah,
beef.
I'll come to you. I'll come to you.
Beef eating. People eat beef here. More than 90% of the people. BJP never had the guts to question beef in Kerala.
Yeah, but beef is not Kerala's political history at the moment.
No, but I mean, it is politics outside. So BJP strategy, today BJP wanted to go and, you know, get all the bishops on their side because the demographic pattern and the cosmopolitan core of Kerala is such, it's not easy to communalize Kerala.
But
I have
Veera,
some
would you
difference
not...
of opinions with him.
Yes,
I
yes,
will tell
go
you.
ahead.
Because you see the manifesto of the BJP, you see the speeches of BJP, you see the interview of the BJP. None of them, no leader of them speak about communalism. They never propagate communalism in Kerala.
can't. That's what I
There
said.
is no,
That's what he
and
said.
also there is nothing with this beef eating or communalism with BJP. It is all cooked up stories by the communists because they have lost
that's
the
not true.
ideological basis. That is why.
That's
Okay,
not
let me bring in Ajay
that's
Kumar.
not
Would you
completely
really agree to
never
what
spoke about
Madhusudan is
communalism.
saying?
My understanding is ever since the idea of Kerala came to exist in the last decades of 18th century, the communal politics or the caste politics is part of the democratization process of Kerala. So you look at the first democratic struggle, you know, the Malayali Memorial, which is led by Nayars in this part of the
And
world.
even Swami Vivekananda had mentioned that Kerala is a madhouse of caste.
Yeah,
But,
it is
over the
always there. It's always there. But the only thing is we are successful in terms of hiding it. Now it's actually come out openly. That's a
So you mean to say that it was never gone?
It's never got. It was
Because-
part of the process.
There was an impression.
Very well
John-
disguised.
Right. There was an impression that probably it has overcome its caste hierarchies because of its twin strategies of social development and political mobilization. At least the impression was given to be that.
No way. Look at
In
the
fact,
incident.
it is the paradox of Kerala
Okay.
that you have all these social indicators which show so much. I mean, we are on par with so many Western countries in so many ways, but the paradox is that the social situation is still a cauldron of this.
Kerala, look at it. The caste identity or community identity has been a subtext of the Kerala political process from the late 19th century. If you really look at the civil society process, the media, including the reform process, Ayyankali to Srinarayana Guru to Varghese Mappala, it has been in the subtext and it has become the context. Now it
So,
is
is it-
coming from the background to the foreground. Now that's the major stuff. No political party, for example, in a Christian dominated area or a Muslim dominated area or a Nair dominated area, no political party will have a guts to have a Dalit candidate or Adivasi candidate or a candidate of different persons to contest. That's the tragedy. So the
But-
point I am saying is in Kerala, because of its cosmopolitan character, there is sectarianism.
Right.
I call it sectarian competitive politics
So,
as different from communalism.
Is this the new, I'll bring in Dr. Prabhash here, is this the new sectarian conservatism of Kerala? Would you really hit at that?
Neither sectarianism nor communalism kind of a thing. See, Kerala's caste is different from the other parts of the country. I'm not saying that, I'm not denying that there is no caste feeling here. I mean, it's very much polished. It's not, I mean, people here are not voting in terms of caste kind of a thing, even though political parties will never dare to field a candidate who belong to, I mean, in a Nair-dominated kind of a constituency, they will never think in terms of feeling normally a candidate belonging to other kind of a caste, etc. But by and large, that does not mean that the people of Kerala are voting on the basis of caste. See, I was a person who have been conducting surveys since 2000 onwards. In all these surveys, if you look at some 7 surveys we have conducted as part of the CSDS, New Delhi, and in all these surveys, the people who say that they look at the caste of the candidate and vote, I mean, it is only around 2.5%, 3% kind of a thing.
But despite
And again-
all what you're saying, Dr. Prabhash, Ajay Kumar, what is the biggest reason? Has it become a political compulsion for the parties who are in the poll fray to practice identity politics? For example, the Dalit groups, they are asserting their rights. smaller caste organizations, they are asserting their own rights. So every community has a potential, you know, to bring in or create some kind of a disintegration or some kind of a political decadence. They are powerful in themselves. So is the time ripe now to assert the independent identities of these communities? And maybe that's the reason why all these parties who are fighting elections, they are resorting to this kind of an identity politics?
No, that's what I'm saying. The identity politics is a part of Kerala politics ever since it started the democratic process. But those who are marginalized, those who are actually, you know, the outlier of the so-called Kerala development, who have been, you know, silenced for last 60 years or 40 years, probably for the last 1 decade, because of the identity-based politics, they are able to assert, they are able to come up their own ideas, they are able to come up their own political agendas, which political parties no other way have to address it. So that's what's happening now.
But another political reality, John, which has been seen with both the blocks, UDF and LDF, is that the perception has been that they have been on a minority appeasement drive, due to which there has been a certain alienation of Hindus. And basically the political, the social, the financial power has been cornered by these minority groups, and probably that is the biggest reason for disenchantment of the Hindu groups?
I don't really think so. I mean, in the sense of, you know, because as he said, these typical stereotypes, notions do not work in Kerala.
Okay.
It's always been, there is a hegemonic alliance. In this hegemonic alliance, the hegemonic groups, basically in Kerala's case, it's Nayars and Nasranis, basically the Syrian Christians, along with now there's a, you know, Iravas and others were also there. So it's, UDF has this, you know, sort of a recipe. You have everybody, and, you know, they satisfy. If you really look at it in terms of schools and all other stuff, it is SNDP and NSS got the maximum.
But
Not because of, so this perception, LDF also has this arrangement, but in terms of LDF, you know, this is not, this recipe business is not there, but still they are also what you call, they are mindful of it. In UDF, there is no what you call, there is no pretension.
But
It's all being adjusted.
But Dr. Madhusudan, the larger question is that the basic key to your alliance is the Irava vote, for which LDF is also vying for. Your also hopes are all resting on the Irava vote. Will BJP really be successful in protecting the Irava vote?
Not only Irava vote, it is a consolidation of the Hindu vote.
Okay.
It is the consolidation of the Hindu vote BJP is going to have. And if that happens, miracles will happen in Kerala.
I'll bring in Ajay. Does the concept like Hindu vote really exist in Kerala politics?
No way. I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah,
So why is there an impression? Why is there an impression? You're saying it's not so. John, can you give me a good
There is
reason?
nothing like this. This is a joke. You know,
Okay.
the point about it is, if you look at the psephologist is sitting there, if you look at LDF, a significant part of Dalits, Iravas, Nayars, and around 20% of Christians and Muslims have voted for, you know, LDF. Vice versa as well. So if you really look at the numbers, again I have a you know, difference, you know, how do you dissect the BJP vote bank? There is nothing like BJP vote bank.
But Bina, would you not admit to the fact that there is a certain term called Hindu vote, at least on paper,
Where?
but yes, the
Media
consolidation of votes, whether it will happen or not, is a big question.
Is there a Muslim vote bank in
Speak one
Kerala?
by one. Yes,
Yes,
Dr.
sir. Is
Madhusudan.
there a Muslim vote bank in Kerala? Is
Okay.
there a Christian vote bank in Kerala?
No.
If you answer that question, you will get the answer of Hindu vote
Dr.
bank.
Prabhash, you want to say something?
I don't think that there is a monolith. I mean, if Christians you take for example, or the Muslims you take for example, you cannot consider them as a monolithic block.
Yeah.
I mean, Hindus are not a monolithic block. You can, I mean, they have many major differences, and I don't think that I will never accept that there is
So
a
see,
Hindu
I mean,
vote.
the political
There is a Hindu
reality
vote.
is-
I mean, if you say that there is a Hindu vote, then you are, I mean, denigrating the Kerala electorate.
So,
I mean,
my larger question to all the panelists here is that, see, if all the parties are promising development, all the parties are saying that, look, we are the ones who are the credible lot. So, what is the unsettling factor in this entire election? What is the unsettling factor? Is it the demographic dividend? Is it the outsiders who are coming and capturing the space? has the political space...
I think one of the disturbing factors
Veena,
is...
my direct question to you is that why do you feel that the political space of Kerala this year has become toxic? What is that one factor which is making it toxic?
I think because all of us here believe that there isn't, as he said just now, a vote bank politics.
Okay.
But I think now with the notion that there is a Hindu vote bank, I think it has created some problems.
Dr. Ajay Kumar, do you really feel that BJP is chasing a chimerical idea of a Hindu vote bank?
No, see, we always
We're
have...
really running out of time. Short answer.
No, we always have this Hindu sentiments.
Okay.
So I would like to say sentiment, not the vote bank, which is
so
successful.
it's a sentiment which the BJP is cashing out.
One second. Let me complete. These sentiments are successfully managed by UDF and LDF so far. Now BJP come and take it up, and I don't think that's going to change anything in the politics.
Even for BJP, without the support of Christians and Muslims, BJP can never, ever, have a sizable number of seats in Kerala.
Okay.
Because its democracy is simple, straight.
Dr. Madhusudan, you'll have to
I
answer
agree
now.
with him, but with the consolidation of Hindus, the Christians and Muslims by social mind, they are
It's
not
like
communal.
chasing a mirage. Dr. Madhusudan, it's like chasing a mirage. All the analysts
No,
are
it
saying
is
that
not
there's
a
nothing like a
mirage, it
Hindu
is
vote
a
bank.
reality. Both Muslims and Christians will come to the friend of Hindu consolidation.
Okay,
It is
your
not
last thoughts,
communalism.
Dr. Prabhash, your last thoughts.
Yeah, I don't think that Muslims and Christians are going to, appreciate the Hindu consolidation kind of a thing. I mean, they may be appreciating a secular consolidation.
Okay.
And it is that kind of a secular
consolidation is a
consolidation.
secular consolidation.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay,
like
so
that.
there's
I mean,
lot
at the
of
end of the day,
dichotomy
I will
there.
say that at the end of the day, it's going to be that secular kind of a thing which is going to carry, which is going to decide this election.
I think the Kerala voter will...
The tragedy of Kerala is the meaning of every word is contrary interpreted. If you say communalism, it is secularism.
The crux of this discussion only reflects the fact how dichotomous this election is going to be. But at the end of the day, the polling is not just a few weeks away. That whichever party comes to power, it nurtures, it strengthens, and preserves the cosmopolitan ethos of Kerala. Thank you all to all my guests for coming here on this special edition of Big Picture. Thank you.
Thank you.